There is this specific, almost painful moment that I think every single business owner, or really just anyone with a side hustle knows intimately. It's the momentum killer.
Well, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's that wall you hit right after the light bulb goes off.
Exactly. You wake up with a vision, a lightning bolt moment. You want to launch a new product or pivot the brand, or honestly, just get a landing page up to test some crazy idea. You
Yeah.
have the energy, you have the strategy, you're ready.
But then you need the actual
You
stuff.
need the assets,
Yeah.
the logo, the slide deck, the visuals,
Yeah.
the tangible things that make the idea real.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you have to step out of your, visionary founder mode and into hiring manager mode. You reach out to a creative agency or you try to find a freelancer on one of those platforms. And
Yeah.
that is where the momentum goes to die, because you don't get assets, you get a calendar invite.
For a discovery call next Tuesday at 2 p.m.
Correct. Followed by a proposal 3 days later, followed by a contract negotiation, followed by a mood board a week after that. And suddenly, your right now idea is a next month project.
And in that gap, that massive friction point, the market moves on. Or, let's be honest, your own enthusiasm it fizzles out. It's the classic hurry up and wait of the creative industry. It's painful.
But, and this is exactly why we're here today, what if that friction was, well, optional? What if the wait wasn't a necessary evil?
It's a provocative question. I mean, usually we think quality takes time.
We do, but we are looking at a stack of documents today about a service provider called ANTCPU, and the promise they are making is, quite frankly, aggressive. They aren't talking about rapid turnaround in days or weeks. They're talking about hours.
It's a completely different paradigm. We're deep diving into a model that seems to combine professional creative services with heavy AI automation. Their whole mission statement is three things: real systems, real speed, real results.
And when they say speed, they mean turning ideas into reality today.
Yeah, that today part is what gets you.
It's the today part that stops you in your tracks. So we're going to unpack 3 specific pillars of this model to see if it, actually holds water. First, we have to scrutinize the mechanics of this same-day promise, specifically that 4-hour delivery window.
Which is a massive claim.
It's borderline unbelievable. Second, we're going to look at their deep research bot and how they're using automation to solve the blank page problem before a human even touches the project.
That's the AI-assisted part of the equation, and it's fascinating.
And third, we have to talk about their identity. This is not your typical Madison Avenue agency vibe. It is explicitly developer built. And that changes everything from how they use social media to, well, how they talk to you on Discord.
It really is a case study in what happens when you apply software engineering logic to creative art.
So let's get right into the mechanics, the creative sprint. I'm looking at their service page here, and the headline is big and bold: same-day delivery available. But then you get into the details, and there's this bullet point: 4-hour delivery.
Right.
Okay, I have to play devil's advocate here immediately. I have to be the skeptic. 4 hours. In the corporate world, getting a reply to an email takes 4 hours.
Sure.
If I order a logo and a brand package and I get it back in 4 hours, my instinct says this is a template. My instinct says this is low effort. How is that physically possible for professional work?
That is the natural reaction. I mean, we've all been trained on the fast, cheap, good pick two triangle. That's the old rule. But what ANTCPU seems to be doing is using AI-assisted workflows to break that triangle. And we need to be really clear about what that means, because it's not what people think.
You mean it's not just typing cool tech logo into Midjourney and hitting send?
Exactly. That would be AI-generated. This is different. This is AI-assisted. Think about the traditional design process. If I'm a designer making a brand package for you, how much of my time is actually spent on the real creative thinking, the aha moments?
I don't know, maybe half.
Probably less, maybe 20%. The rest is just administrative friction. It's resizing files for Twitter, then resizing them for LinkedIn. It's exporting to PNG, then SVG, then PDF. It's setting up the folder structure. It's the boring stuff.
So you're saying ANTCPU has automated the boring stuff?
Precisely. The developer-built approach implies they've written scripts to handle all that execution and delivery.
Yeah.
So a human designer makes the core creative decisions, the soul of the design, the concept, but the machine handles the deployment. If you remove 3 hours of file management, suddenly a 4-hour delivery isn't rushing. It's just efficient.
So it's less about magic and more about, I guess, assembly line logic.
Workflow optimization. It's treating a creative asset like a software deployment. In software, you write the code and an automated system builds it and ships it. They're doing that for logos.
Okay, that explains the how. That makes the math work. But what about the quality? Because they have this tagline that jumped out, ready to build something that converts. That is a very specific word choice. Converts?
It's not an art school word.
Not at all. That's a sales word.
And it tells you exactly who their audience is. They aren't trying to win design awards to put on a shelf. They are trying to help you sell a product. And they have a badge on the site that caught my eye. No fake testimonials.
I saw that. It felt a bit defensive, or maybe just brutally honest.
I think it's a signal. I mean, we have to look at the context. In the world of get-rich-quick dropshipping and AI hustles, trust is at an all-time low. So by explicitly saying no fake testimonials and promising real results, they're acknowledging your skepticism. They know you think 4-hour delivery sounds sketchy.
So they're leaning into it. They're heading the objection off at the pass.
Right. They're saying, we know this sounds impossible, but we have the systems to back it up. It's a direct challenge to the traditional agency model, which relies on the mystery of the creative process to justify high fees and long timelines.
It strips away the mystery.
It commoditizes the friction. It says creativity shouldn't be a black box that takes a month.
Speaking of black boxes, let's talk about the tech that powers this, because they aren't just selling the design, they're using a very specific tool to get there, the deep research bot.
This is where the value proposition gets really interesting for me, because it changes the whole relationship between the client and the service.
Yeah, the source describes it as a free AI-powered research assistant. It lists capabilities like technical research, market analysis, and solution mapping, and importantly, it's available 24/7.
So think about that blank page problem again. You want to build a new app. You know what you want it to do, generally, but you don't know the tech stack. You don't know your top 5 competitors. You don't know if you should use React or Vue.
Usually that's where I stall. I spend 3 days Googling, I get totally overwhelmed, and I stop.
Or you hire a consultant for a feasibility study, and that takes 2 weeks and costs $5,000. ANTCPU is saying, no, just use our bot. They are automating the consultancy phase.
But is this just a wrapper around ChatGPT? Like, why wouldn't I just go to OpenAI?
That's a valid question. But the source implies this is a tuned tool. The call to action is ignite free AI research. In a developer context, that usually means they've preloaded it with specific frameworks or data sets that are relevant to their services. It's likely designed to output a structured plan that their team can immediately execute on.
Ah, I see. It's a funnel.
It's a brilliant funnel. You use the bot to clarify your own thoughts. The bot gives you a solution map. And guess who is perfectly positioned to build that solution in 4 hours?
ANTCPU. Because the bot probably formatted the request exactly how their system likes it.
Exactly. So by the time you talk to a human, you're already an educated client with a roadmap. It speeds up their process because they don't have to spend hours extracting the idea from your brain. The bot did the extraction.
It's efficient for you and it's efficient for them. And this connects to the third pillar of their service, right? The automation hub.
Yes. They don't just use these tools, they sell them. The Automation Hub offers workflow design, system integration, and process optimization.
This is the part that feels very meta.
It is.
They use automation to deliver creative work fast, and then they sell automation services to help you work fast.
It's the dog fooding concept in tech. Eat your own dog food. They are their own best case study. If you're impressed they delivered a logo in 4 hours, you're naturally going to ask, how did you do that? And their answer is, we built a system, and we can build one for you too.
That is a powerful sales pitch. It moves them from just being designers into being, what, operations architects.
Correct. And it reinforces that real systems promise. It's not just a slogan, it's their product.
Okay, so we have the speed, we have the machinery, but I want to pivot to the real results part. Because in this day and age, anyone can claim to be an expert. Anyone can put up a website. How do we know this isn't just a ghost town with a nice landing page?
We have to look at the digital footprint. And this is where that developer-built identity starts to show up in the marketing. It's fascinatingly specific.
The numbers are significant for a B2B niche. The source lists 10K plus total social followers, but it's the breakdown that's kind of weird.
Weird how?
Well, they have 5.7K followers on TikTok.
TikTok.
Yes. Now, if you're a fashion brand, sure. If you're selling energy drinks, absolutely. But a B2B automation and design service, why on earth are they on TikTok?
This is a key insight into modern B2B marketing. The source says their focus there is viral content. A lot of companies ignore TikTok because they think it's just dancing. But the dev community and the entrepreneur community on TikTok are huge.
That's true. TikTok is a real thing.
It is. And by being there, ANTCPU is signaling that they are modern. They aren't hiding behind white papers on some dusty website. They're showing the work. Building in public is a huge trend in the developer world, and TikTok is the perfect medium for that.
And then you contrast that with their Facebook strategy, 4.6K followers focused on real dominance.
Dominance. Strong word.
Very strong. But why Reels?
Facebook Reels hits a slightly older demographic than TikTok. Business owners, decision makers, people who might not be scrolling TikTok but are checking Facebook on their lunch break. So they're repurposing that short-form video to hit the decision makers where they live.
And then they have the standard players, LinkedIn for professional network, Twitter or X for tech insights, and Instagram for aesthetic.
It's a full spectrum approach.
Yeah.
They are not just copy-pasting the same link everywhere. They are tailoring the message. Aesthetic for Instagram, tech for Twitter. It's smart.
It validates their marketing materials service, doesn't it?
100%. If I'm hiring someone to build a social strategy for me, I want to see that their strategy works. The fact they have 10,000 followers across these segmented channels proves they get the nuance of each platform.
It's walking the walk.
The source mentions optimization for maximum engagement and conversion. They are treating social media like part of the system. It's not an afterthought. It's a finely tuned machine.
So we've got the systems, the speed, the social proof. But I want to drill down into the who. Because despite all this talk of bots and AI, there's a human element here that feels distinct.
The developer-built identity.
Yeah. We keep saying that, but let's really define it. Usually a creative agency is artist-run or marketer-run. What does developer-built actually change for the client?
It changes the priorities. An artist prioritizes expression. A marketer prioritizes the message. A developer prioritizes function and efficiency.
It feels more structural.
Exactly. If you hire a typical agency, they might spend 3 weeks debating the emotional resonance of a shade of blue. A developer looks at that and says, this is blocking deployment. Pick the hex code that converts best and ship it.
Ship it. That's the mentality.
It is. And for a business owner who just wants real results, that is incredibly refreshing. It cuts through all the fluff. It treats creativity as a utility, not a luxury.
And there is a specific person attached to this machine. The source says to contact Anthony, located in North Carolina, USA.
Which grounds the whole thing. It's not some faceless drop servicing operation overseas. It's Anthony in North Carolina.
But, and here is the twist that I think perfectly encapsulates this whole developer vibe. How do you contact Anthony?
Not email.
The source explicitly says, for the fastest response, straight to my Discord. Now, for some of our listeners, Discord is where their kids play video games. For others, it's where they run their crypto nodes. Why would a professional service provider use Discord as their primary contact?
This is a massive cultural signal. It's a filter.
A filter for what?
For the type of client they want. Think about email. Email is formal. Email is, Dear Sir, Madam, wait 24 hours per your last correspondence. It's slow. It's high friction.
And Discord.
Discord is synchronous.
Yeah.
It's real time. It's, hey, I'm online. Let's look at this file together. It breaks down the wall between client and vendor, makes it feel more like collaborator.
It feels like walking into their virtual office and just sitting at the desk with them.
Exactly. And it fits the same-day ethos perfectly. You can't offer a 4-hour delivery if you're waiting 2 hours for an email reply. You need instant feedback loops. Discord allows for that.
So by forcing you onto Discord, they're essentially pre-qualifying you. They're saying, if you aren't comfortable with this level of tech and this speed of communication, we probably aren't the right fit.
That's it. It's a feature, not a bug. It just reinforces that developer-built persona and says, we are here to build, not to have lunch meetings.
It really is a cohesive package. When you step back and look at ANTCPU as a whole, the 4-hour delivery, the AI workflows, the Discord communication, it all points to one thing.
Removing friction.
We started this conversation talking about the hurry up and wait problem, the frustration of wanting to move fast but being held back by the process.
And ANTCPU is proposing a radical alternative. They're saying the wait is a choice. They're a hybrid part creative agency, part automation lab.
And the implication of turn your ideas into reality today is, well, pretty profound.
It changes the risk profile of business. Think about it. If launching a new brand costs you $10,000 and 6 weeks of your time, you have to be very sure it's going to work. You can't afford to fail.
But if it costs a fraction of that and takes an afternoon,
Then you can experiment. You can try 3 different brands. You can A/B test ideas in the real world, not just on a whiteboard. Speed allows for iteration, and iteration leads to success.
So the value isn't just, I got my logo fast, it's, I got to test my market hypothesis fast.
Precisely, that's the real result.
It's a compelling model, and it brings us back to that automation hub concept again. We always try to leave you with a question to chew on, something that applies to your own work.
And I think for this one, it's about looking in the mirror.
We've seen how ANTCPU systemized the messy, subjective world of creativity into a 4-hour window. They built a workflow design for art.
So the question is, what part of your business is dragging simply because you haven't built the right workflow for it yet?
Where are you still relying on email chains and manual entry when you could be using AI-assisted workflows?
We all have those bottlenecks. We accept them as just the way it is. Oh, month-end reporting just takes 3 days. Well, does it? Or does it take 3 days because you haven't automated it?
ANTCPU suggests it doesn't have to be that way. If they can automate logo design, you can probably automate your spreadsheet reporting.
It might be time to do a little solution mapping of your own.
I think you're right. Go find your friction and see if you can build a system to remove it. Thanks for listening to this deep dive.
See you next time.